let's start with Python. Python as the syllabus of class 11. In this class, you are going to learn the basic about Python. What are the features Python is providing to you? In class 11th, you are going to learn the fundamental concepts of a programming. You are going to learn selection construct, iteration construct, and all the basic rules which is required to learn the fundamental of Python. So from today we are going to start our Python, and the same will be continued in class 12 also. So it's a humble request that whatever you are learning right now, kindly note it down in your note copy and maintain the copy till class 12, because same will be repeated in class 12 also. Python is basically an open source object oriented high level programming language. This programming language has been developed by Guido van Rossum in 1991. So Guido van Rossum has developed Python in 1991 at the National Research Institute of Mathematics, which is in Netherlands. Right now, Python has been owned by Python Software Foundation, that is PSF. He is the person who has developed the Python programming language. What are the features of Python? These are the most common, most famous features of Python that you are going to learn here. First thing, it is object-oriented programming language, which is very important for today scenario. In today world, programming language can only survive in the market if it is object-oriented programming language. There are few features of object orientation like inheritance, data encapsulation, polymorphism, and so on. You are going to learn it very soon in your ahead classes or in your senior classes. You will learn what are the features of object-oriented programming language. So for now, you have to you need to know that Python is also object-oriented programming language. It is a case-sensitive programming language. Case-sensitive like C, C++, and Java. Python is also case sensitive. Case sensitive means the capital A is different than small a. That means if you are going to write capital in Python, it is not equals to small a. And although if you are going to code, if you are going to program in Python, you have to use only small letter. Entire programming fundamentals keywords will be written in small letter. So that is why we used to say that Python is case sensitive. It is platform independent. That means it is independent of the platform. What does it mean by platform? You can code the program in Windows platform as well as you can code the program in Linux platform, Mac platform. So this is why we can say that Python is platform independent programming language, just like Java. Java is also platform independent programming language. You can see, you are going to explore that it will take so much less time to learn Python. We are having so many inbuilt libraries associated with Python. You are going to learn about all these libraries. In today's world, Python is most famous programming language in the field of data science, in the field of artificial intelligence, and in the field of machine learning. Software for Python that you can download from python.org. This is the website from where you can download the Python software compatible for your system. And the second most famous distributor of Python is Anaconda. You can also work with Anaconda, where you will find Spider ID. It is also one of the most famous ID on which you can code your Python programming. A Python programming is divided into two interactive modes. First is the two way we can code in Python. First is your Python shell, that is the interactive mode, and the second one is your Python editor, that is the script mode. If you are going to code a program of one line only, then you can work with interactive mode. We are going to see that how our interactive mode can be worked, how our interactive mode is visible for you. So you are going to learn very soon about interactive mode. And if you are going to write a exact programming language, exact program of multi-line programming, then you have to use Python editor, that is the script mode. You can see here in your in the slide, you can see here this part is known as the interactive mode, where you are seeing what you can see here, the three greater than symbol is available here. So this is known as interactive mode. And if you are going to see a file just like a notepad, it is known as script mode. Although whenever you are going to open the Python shell, you will get the interactive mode. In the interactive mode, you have to click the file menu, and then in the file menu, you are going to get a new button. When you are going to press the new button, a new window will open, and this new window is known as script mode. Although you can press Ctrl N also, it will provide you a new window for the script mode. Let's come to the programming fundamentals. The smallest unit of any programming language is known as token. So same applies in Python also. There are 5 types of tokens: keywords, literals, identifiers, operators, and punctuators. One by one, we are going to learn about tokens. You can say that this is the basic grammar of any programming language. So just like other programming language, Python also works due to only these 5 tokens. Let's start with keywords. Keywords are the reserved words used by Python interpreter. These are the reserved words, that are the words that are the definition of that words are already fed in the Python library, and then you are going to use that keyword and the meaning of that keyword, which are already associated with the Python library. So these are the keywords. If you would like to see the keywords associated with Python, you can check the list of keywords by typing import keyword in the interactive mode, and then type print keyword.kw list in the interactive mode, and you will get the list of entire keywords associated with the Python software installed in your computer. The next token is identifier. Identifiers are nothing. They are the name of the variables, class, objects, function, and modules. Just like the other programming language, we can provide the variables here also. Although, as we have seen earlier also, that Python provides you the dynamic typing of a variable. That means you just need to provide the name of the variable. You don't need to provide the data type of the variable. So this is the goodness of Python. But whenever you are going to create one variable, you are you are required to follow the ruling convention for creating an identifier. As you can see on your screen, there are 4 rules that you have to follow whenever you are going to create the variable in Python. And the rules are, one by one we are going to discuss it. First thing, the name of the variable must always start with either a letter or an underscore. That means you have to start the name of the variable either with a letter or with underscore. As the example you can see here, underscore x is the valid name, a valid name, num is also valid, underscore num is also valid. I would like to remind you that capital NAME will not be equals to small NAME because Python is case sensitive. So you have to consider the same. You have to be cautious whenever you are using capital or small letter. The name of the variable cannot start with a number. This is the one of the mandatory rule. Even your board examination, you will get some examples like this. You will get some questions like this, that you will get a few name of the identifiers and you would be asked to find out which one is valid and which one is invalid. So if a name of a variable is starting from a number, it is invalid. It is not valid. Now, third point, the name of a variable cannot have special characters. That means if you are going to create a variable, it must start, it must contain sign of percentage or dollar or hash or any special character. They are not supported with Python. Only one special character we are having, and that is underscore. So you can use alphabet also, you can use number also, and you can use underscore also. Now, fourth one, variable name is case sensitive, as I have already informed you. If you are writing small str or if you are going to write capital str, both of them are not same. If you have written a small str, you have to maintain with a small str. Don't go for capital str. And if you are using capital str in as the name of the identifier, you have to continue with capital str. As I have told you that Python is case sensitive, so although you have to code everything in small letter, but this is the only part, that is the name of the identifier, in which you can utilize capital letter also. So we can it is providing us a feature that we can name one identifier with capital letter also. The next token is literal. Literals are nothing, they are the constants. So what are the constants we are having in Python that we are going to learn? Basically, the literals, that is the constants, are divided into 5 sections: string, numeric, boolean, none, and sequence. String, that is word. In English, you used to inform it as word. Collection of character is known as word. Same way, the collection of character is known as a string. A string can be a single line string or a multi-line string. That means one line string or more than one line string. Numeric characters can be divided into integer, real, and complex. That means we can have an integral value, real value. Real, that means decimal value, float values, like 3.5, 6.8, minus 1.8. These are known as real values or float values. And complex number, we can have complex numbers also, like a plus ib, a plus ib, or a plus m plus nj. This type of complex number is also supported by Python. This is also one of the unique feature of Python. Third part is your boolean. That means you can have a boolean data type also here. In the boolean data type, you are going to have only two values, either it will be true or false. Next one is none. That means a special variable we are having with Python, which is none. In other language, it is also known as null. None means nothing, which is not having any magnitude. And the last one is your sequence. In the sequence, we are going to learn about list, tuple, dictionary, and set. We are going to learn the detail about in the entire sequences. Next one is our operators. We will learn varieties of operators in Python. You are going to learn so many operators like arithmetic operators, relational operators. So many operators are available in Python. We will learn one by one in detail. So there are two types of construct. Note down. First one is known as selection or decision making construct, and Second one is known as iteration or looping construct. One by one we are going to learn this, and only these two are the deciding factor for the efficiency of a programmer. If you are a good programmer, that means you are having 100% confidence, you are having 100% command over selection construct as well as iteration construct. We will start with selection construct. There are three divisions in the selection construct. First, you will learn about if and else. Then you are going to learn about nesting of if and else. What does it mean by nesting? If we are going to code if else inside the block of it if else itself, this is known as nesting of if else. That means if will be available inside the block of another if. So that type of construct is known as nesting of a particular construct. If it is if else, we will say that it is nesting of if else. If it would be while or do while or sorry for, so we will say that it is nesting of while or for. First we are going to learn about if else. Let's start with if else. This is the syntax of writing if else. At the beginning of the programming segment, when we were learning about the basic of programming, few properties of Python was given to you. I am just going to highlight one important property. As you can see here, how to write if else code programming in our programming segment. First, write if. It will be written in a small letter only because Python is a case sensitive programming language. Then give the condition. Condition can be anything. We will see what type of condition we can provide here. We will use few operators with some operand to decide about the condition. Like we can write x is greater than y. This will be known as a condition. That means I am checking, I am asking the compiler, the interpreter of the Python, that whether the value of x is greater than y. So if you are going to utilize the if statement, you will get either you are going to get only two answers. Either it will be yes or no. As you can see here, if I am going to ask whether the value of x is greater than y, right now I don't know whether the value of x is greater than y or not, because I don't know what is x and I don't know what is y. Since I am not knowing the value of x, since I am not knowing the value of y, but we can predict the answer. The answer will be yes or no, whether the value of x will be greater than y or it will not be greater than y. So we can have only two answers. Either it will be yes or no. You can assume any value. If the value of x is 5, if the value of y is 10. So if the condition is asking if 5 is greater than 10, no. Answer is no. But if the value of x is 10 and the value of y is 5, and then if we are going to use the same condition, if x is greater than y, so the answer will be yes. No for the previous statement, yes for the current statement. Now question arises here, what will be the answer if I am going to provide the value of x 5 and the value of y again 5? So check your answer. Whether the value of x is greater than y. No, x is not greater than y. It is equals to y. So whatever the value you are going to show, whatever the value you are going to use, it can be anything, but the answer will be only yes or no. So if the answer coming from your side is yes, then the statement written inside the if statement will be executed. This part is known as body of if statement. When it will run only when the condition is saying yes. So if the condition is true, the statement written just below the if condition will be executed. But if it is saying no, if the current value of x is 5 and the current value of y is 10, the answer is no, x is not greater than y. On that condition, this part will not be entertained by the compiler. It will jump to else part. As the name is suggesting you, if this is the condition, execute this code. Otherwise, else, that means otherwise, execute this code. So, sorry. If the condition not satisfied here, that means if x is not greater than y, then else part, the code written in the else part will be executed. The code written in the else part will be executed. When the code of else part will be executed? When the condition is saying no. When the if part is saying no, the condition, according to the condition, I am going to get the answer, and that is no. So according to the condition, whatever the condition I am going to provide here, according to that condition, your statement will be executed. So if x is greater than y was the condition according to my programming, according to this condition, it will check the value of x, it will check the value of y. If it is greater than y, then whatever the programming construct, whatever the programming expression or statement we are going to write here will be executed. Otherwise, whatever the condition or statement we are expression we are going to write here, that is after the else part, will be executed. Now, few more important part, and the most important part I can say that for this block. First thing, you have to write here colon. You have to write here colon. If you are not going to write here colon, you will get an error. So in the syntax, this colon is very mandatory for you. First thing. Second, after the if condition, you have to write the statement written inside the if statement that will be known as the body of the if statement after 4 spaces. That means the indentation of I, the difference between the indentation of I and the indentation of this S, that means the first statement, will be at least 4 spaces. This property we have seen when we were discussing the properties of Python. This is the property according to Python. Each and every block works based on the indentation. Indentation is very important in your Python. But the good thing is that you don't have to focus much on the indentation, because when we are going to code exactly in Python programming, we will see that if I'm going to write this colon, and when I will press enter button, automatically your cursor will come this side. So you don't need to provide the indentation when you are going to program practically. But when you are going to write the code theoretically on your copy, it is mandatory for you. Kindly provide the statement after few spaces. So indentation is very important in Python. If you are not following it, you will get some wrong result. Although it will not provide you the error. For the indentation, it may be possible that error will not be arised. But of course, the wrong output can be generated. But if you are not giving colon there, then indentation will be, then error will be arised. So you are requested kindly access the statement with the colon and with the indentation. So this is the main part of if and else condition. Next thing, if can be utilized without else. In some programming paradigm, in some question we will see that if can be utilized without else. That means I need the statement, I need the output based on just the if condition, not on the else part. I don't want to treat about no condition. I will see the output based on the yes condition. If it is no, I am not going to code for no. But else cannot be used without if. If you are going to use else, you have to first write if, then the condition, then only you are able to write the else part. So we can use if solely, lonely, but we can't use else alone without using the if condition. Now let's come to the example. So as you can see here, I am showing you one example. According to this example, the value of x given by me or by the programmer is 8. Then after if I am writing, I am checking whether the value of x is greater than 5, yes or no. The statement will be executed by the interpreter of Python, and it will check whether the value of x is greater than 5. If it is greater than 5, then the statement written just after if will be executed. Although it is written here semicolon, it is not required. You can ignore it. So if the condition given after the if statement is saying yes, then the statement written just below the if, the statement written just below the if will be executed, and then program will jump to the next statement if anything is written after else. That means the compiler will not touch else, and it will not touch the statement written inside the else. If the condition satisfied, if the condition is saying yes. So the value of x is 8. Whether the value of x is greater than 5, yes, it is greater than 5. So this expression will be executed. It will not be touched. Next, what if I am going to write here x is equals to 1, then if it is not 5, if it is 1, whether the value of x is greater than this is condition will be same, just I am going to provide you the value of x. So if the value of x is greater than 5, no, the value of x is not greater than 5 because it is 1. So on this condition, this part will not be executed. This part will not be touched by the interpreter or the compiler. Then compiler interpreter will jump to else part, otherwise part. Then the statement written inside the else will be executed. So either this part will be executed or this part will be executed. Not the both part will be executed. If I am going to show you with the decision tree format, we can say that if I am going to provide one condition, if you are going to provide here some condition, you will get two way. First way is saying yes, and the second way is saying no. And after that, your program will be executed. So either you are coming from this side to the end, or you are coming from this side to the end. Both the statement can't be executed simultaneously. Either this part will be executed or the no part will be executed. So you are requested to note down the example, and then I will show you the execution of if-else code through your practical session right now only. So I hope that you must have noted down the example. Now, yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
sir, in previous the if else you showed,
Hmm.
I was typing the same thing, but I didn't get any result. Like you said, if the statement
Uh,
is
uh,
correct, it
whether
shows.
you have written the syntax.
Yeah.
Syntax will not be a syntax mean how to write anything. You will not get any output. You if you are going to check the output, then you have to write the code that I have given in the example. Have you written the code
No, sir.
in the previous slide?
No,
Note it
sir.
down. This slide, whatever the content is written as the example, you have to note it. You have to type this one. Syntax means how to write anything,
Sir, I have typed this one only.
and you are not getting anything.
No, sir. The same. Just I was enter. I clicked enter, but there was no result.
Have you written? Okay. Have you written the code in the interactive
Yes,
mode?
yes, sir. Same format. The way you have
Okay.
written.
Wait. I am showing you. I am showing you. It will be executed once you are going to code the entire thing in script mode, not in the interactive mode. I will show you. I will show you. Just note it down in your copy. I am going to show you. First note it down on your copy. Then I'm going to show you. So after that, just note down one statement here, and that is very important for you. That if can be used without else, but else cannot be used without if. It is very important for you. So just note down firstly, then I am going to show the entire thing practically. So I hope that you must have noted down. So let's move to the practical session. So this was the program that was available on your screen. This semicolon was not required. What I have written here, the value of x is equals to 8, and I am checking the condition whether the value of x is greater than 5. If it is true, you will get the answer that is written just below if statement. Otherwise, you are going to get the output that is written just below the else statement. Let's see. Now I'm going to execute it. So I am getting the, are you able to see the output? No? Okay. Mm. Whether the question, whether the programming is available on your screen? Are you able to see the code? Okay. I am just executing it. Now, are you able to see the output? Okay. So this is the output we are getting. What we got, what is the output that we got? Number is greater than 5. Let's come back to the programming pattern. I am getting the output number is greater than 5. So number is greater than 5 was written just after if statement. And since the value of x, which was 8, and it was greater than 5, that is why this part has been executed. And you have not seen the output in which you this statement was written. It is the proof that only if the condition is true, then the statement written just after the if statement will be executed, not the statement written after the else statement. Now check the condition here. I have written here if x is greater than 5, and I am using colon also, colon with else also, and colon with if also. This is mandatory for you all. Now I am going to change the value of x. So now x is equals to 1. Let's run it one more time. According to my code, x is not greater than 5. So we are expecting the result that is written after else. Save it, execute it. So check it. Number is less than or equal to 5. It is not greater than 5. And this statement was the statement that was written just below else part. So we have seen that it is working perfectly. If even if I am going to write here 5 is not greater than 5, so we will get the result, the output that is written in the else statement. Check the result. Correct. Number is less than or equals to 5. Now I am showing you the difference if I am going to violate the rule of Python. If I am going to erase this colon, if I am going to erase the indentation, then we will see what we are going to get as the output. First I am erasing this colon. Now run it, first save it, and get the syntax error. So I think the error would be visible for you. It is written invalid syntax. You can see the red line here because we need to provide colon anyhow. Second thing, what if I am going to erase the indentation? Okay, error was not given, was not visible to you. Let me check one more time. If x is equals to 8, and then we are going to check the if condition. I am erasing the indentation. Is this visible to you, the red line? Yes or no? Please give me to the chat box better. Reply through chat box. Whether the highlighted print is available or in your screen. Okay. Anushka, you are not able to see this print highlighted with red color. Okay. So this way you will get the error. So you need to provide the proper indentation if you want to get the correct result. Now again I will save it, and then again I will execute it. So now I am getting the correct output. We are having few more time, so I am going to ask one question from you, and you are requested to give me the answer through the chat box. So now onward we are going to write everything in the script mode, not in the interactive mode. So first thing that you have to jump to the script mode. How to come to script mode? Just I am showing you. Correct, Krishna. One. Simply, this is the interactive mode. So here, either you can press Control N or go to File menu, then New File. So this is the place where you are going to write a program in script mode. Your question is that write a program in Python. Note it down in your copy also, to ask two numbers from the user and find the greatest among them. So what we are going to do in this programming, we will ask two numbers from you are not required to give me the output right now, because this is just your second program. Concentrate on the output, then after that I will ask question from tomorrow session, and you will be asked to give me the answer. So right now we are going to write a program in which we are going to ask two numbers from the user, and we will find which one is the greatest among them. Let's start. I need two numbers. First, we are going to save the number in X. So we know how to ask the number from the user using the input function. And we need to convert it into integer also. Otherwise, it will not be treated as integral part. Enter a number. So I am just giving one slash here, double quote. Now I need second number. Control C, Control V. In the second number, I want to save it in Y. And in the message, I am going to write enter second number. So these two numbers will be asked. Then now we have to utilize the if statement to check which one is greater. I don't know which one will be greater, because when the value will be given by the user in the runtime, then only it will be decided whether the X is greater or the Y is greater. So at this moment we can't say which one is greater. So we will use the if statement. If X is greater than Y, we have to predict If the value of x is greater than y, then we can say that x is greater. Just concentrate on your screen. Okay, good question. Concentrate on your screen. You can see the cursor blinking here. I am going to press enter button. I am going to press enter button and see the cursor. So automatically after the colon, you are getting the correct indentation. So I am getting the correct indentation. After few spaces, the cursor is blinking here. So if the condition is true, that means if the value of x is greater than y, then we can say that x is greater. So I am going to print one message here that the value of x is GREA greatest. Why I have not given double quote with x? Because everything written with double quote will flash as the message. But I need the value of x and then the message. I will show you the difference after executing it. Now, come back, type else. Note it down along with me. Print y is greatest. Because we can say that if the value of x is greater than y, that means x is greatest. Otherwise, if the value of x is not greater than y, then we can say that y is the greatest. So first, we will save it. Save with any name, let it be GRT. Then execute it. So, a number. First, I will provide number of x, that is 98. And then I will provide the number of y, let it be 105. So according to my program, my expectation, the greatest number is 105. 98 will be saved in x, 105 will save in y. So according to my programming, I must get 105 as the greatest number. Let's see. So I am getting the answer. I am getting the answer, that is 105 is greatest. Because according to my condition, what was the condition? If the value of x is greater than y, my value of x was not greater than y. X was 98, y was 105. So x was not greater than 5. The code written in the else statement was executed. Now again I am going to execute it. And this time I will provide the first value, the greatest one. So the first value is 250 and second value is 50. So according to this, I need 250 as the greatest. So I am getting the correct answer. The value of x is greater and the value of y is lesser. So the first statement was executed. That means if condition was satisfied and we are getting the correct answer. So in the nutshell, we can say that if else is the best pattern of programming paradigm in which you are getting the option of choosing either of the two statements. You will get the option of choosing either of the two statements. We will see more programming on if and else. Write a program in Python to ask a number from the user and find that the number is even or odd. So first we will ask a number from the user and then we will check whether the number is even or odd. So I'm just going to solve this right here. Concentrate on the code. If you are able to solve it by yourself, you can try and send the output to the chat box. So first we need a number. So I'm taking one variable. Let the name of the variable is x. X is equals to int input. Then we will write enter a number. After this message, the user will definitely provide us a number. So the number has been saved in X. I am continuously, I have informed you that first you need to convert the value into int, then it will be saved into X. Now, how to find that the number is even or not? For that, you need to divide the number by 2. And you need to check the remainder. If the remainder coming to you is 0, then it is an even number. Otherwise, it is an odd number. If, whenever a number will be divided by 2, if the remainder is 0, it is an even number. If the remainder is 1, it is an odd number. So you are having two options. First, take one variable, rem. Krishna, check the operator. Correct. So how to get the remainder? For getting the remainder, you need to use sign of percentage, not division, because division will provide you the quotient. You need remainder. So x will be divided by 2 and the remainder will save in rem variable. Now we will check whether the value of rem is 0. How to write this? In the same, whatever the statement I am saying to you in English, you need to convert the same into programming paradigm. How? I am telling you, whether the value of rem is 0. So it can be written as if rem double is equals to 0. Whenever we need to compare two values, we need to use double equals to. And it is a golden rule. You have to mug up it that whenever you are using, correct Bhavesh, whenever you are using equal to operator with if statement, it must be double equal to. You can't use single equal to, because single equal to is the assignment operator. Like if I'm using rem is equals to x percentage 2, that means I am instructing the interpreter, kindly calculate this operation and whatever the output will come, kindly save this into rem, right hand side to left hand side. But if I am writing rem double equals to 0, I am instructing the compiler, kindly check the value of rem with 0. If it is same, then execute the statement that will be written just below the if statement, if block. So the next part is colon, which is mandatory for you. Now concentrate on the cursor. It is blinking just after the colon. I am going to press enter button. The enter button pressed. You can see automatically the indentation was done by the Python compiler. So interpreter has given you the spaces. You don't need to bother for that. So if the remainder is 0, we can say that, easily we can say that the number given by you is an even number. Since the remainder coming from the user side, since the remainder coming by dividing the number given by the user by 2, we are getting the remainder that is 0. If it is 0, then definitely the remainder, definitely the number is even. So that we have just checked. Otherwise, so I am pressing a backspace button, then typing else, that is otherwise, print the number is or an odd number. Print the number is and odd number. So our code is ready to be executed. Let's check whether it is correct or not. Now question arises here. How can we know, sir, that the number is even or odd? What we don't need to bother for that. What the number is will be provided by the user. We have to code something like this that we can decide whether the number is even or odd, and the decision will be given by us, and it will always be decided with the help of if and else. So that is why we are coding here with the help of if and else. We are using the number x. We have divided the number x by 2. We have checked the remainder. We have saved the remainder, and the remainder will be checked by 0. If it is 0, then the number will be even. Otherwise, it will be odd. First, we have to save it. So we are saving it. Save with uh, even odd is already available, so I will save it by EO. It has been saved. So let's execute the code. So as per our code, number is being asked by the programmer. When I was coding the program, I was acting as the programmer. But when I am using, okay, I think it is not visible. Okay, Krishna, I will check. So when I am giving the number, that means I am working as the user. So I am providing one number, any number. First, we will start with any even number. So even number 88. I am pressing enter. So I am getting the correct answer. The number given by you is an even number. It is correct one. Let's execute the same code one more time. So I'm going to rerun it. Again, they are asking a number from me. Now I will provide one odd number to check whether it is correct or not. So you can see here the output. The number given by you is an odd number. So it is providing us the correct output. There are varieties of code that we can expect from you all. Like one person can change the programming, like RAM can be compared with 1. It is not necessary that always we have to compare with 0. We can compare it with 1 also. If I am comparing it with 1, that means we are checking first the odd value. If remainder is 1, then the number given by you is an odd number. Thus, just we need to change the sequence of output, because if the first remainder we are checking with 1, that means we have decided that first we will check whether the number is odd or not. When I have written it here 0, then I was checking that whether the number is 0 or not. So first it depends upon you. Both the statement will be correct. If you are comparing it with 1, then the first value will be odd and the next else part will be even. So now Control S for save and the functional button F5 for rerun it. Let's check whether it is giving the correct answer or not. So now I will provide small number 3. Let's check whether it is giving me the correct answer or not. Yes, the number given by you is an odd number. So this is also a correct output, correct way of giving the code. So this can be used by any programmer. Right now you are a programmer. Third option that can be available on your screen. Next, someone can ignore the REM variable. Apart from using REM variable, I am just putting comment line before REM. That means I am not going to use REM. What does it mean by comment line? That means I am instructing the compiler, don't read this line. So if I am not using REM, then how to write the code? Then I will write x percentage, x will be in small letter, x, the number given by x by the user is x percentage 2. Directly I will equate the equation just after the if statement and use it with double equals to, and I am typing here 1. Why I am typing here 1? Because I have changed the code. First odd will be checked and then the even will be checked. Again I am going to save it. Let's run it. Check it whether it is working correctly or not. So 47 is the odd number. We are getting the correct answer for odd number. Let's run one more time for the even number. 300, that is even number. So we are getting the correct answer for even also. So it is so easy to code any program with if and else. You are requested to note it down. Which one was which one code was feasible for you? Uh, the code which you like most, you can note it down. Like you can use REM or you can replace the REM. So since I have used this REM at the beginning, so I am replacing the entire code just the same that I have used at the beginning. So I am writing here REM x percentage, then REM will be here. Then at the first point it was 0, and then this has to be even, and then this will be all. So you can save it. You can type write it on your copy and save it. Sorry, save it not. Just note it down. I hope that you must have noted down. Krishna, I will reply just a few moments. Now we have to enhance our learning. We will jump to the extra segment of if and else. That means now we will learn how to use nesting of if else, how we can use if inside the next if. I hope that you must have noted down. Morning Samriddhi, morning Ria.
Good morning, sir.
Morning Vita, morning Krishna. Morning Bhavesh, morning Chef.
Morning.
Have you got any information regarding the opening of the school on 21st?
Yes,
So have you got the consent form or have you got a notice?
Sir, principal sir told that we'll get a consent form at night in the evening.
After the consent form, they have not given any information whether you are coming from Monday or not.
Principal
So they
sir,
said that it will come from Wednesday.
Will come from Wednesday.
Yes.
he also told that there were
Sorry, but it was disconnected. What were you telling? What were you informing, Bhavesh?
sir, schools will reopen for Wednesday like regular classes.
Regular classes. So online
Yes,
classes.
sir, for 2 hours or 3 hours.
So let's start. Although in computer science, I think online classes are more comfortable as compared to offline classes because we can execute the code lively, we can fill the code lively. Let's see in 2 or 3 hours classes, which subject will be allotted.
He told that
Hmm.
the live classes will be broadcasted only, means from the school only.
That means since entire uh, entire class cannot accommodate at once. Maximum 20 students can come from each and every section. So that is why he told you that the rest of the student will enjoy the class from their home. That depends upon the consent. I don't know how many of you have given your consent. But that depends upon your consent. That those who have opted to join the classes join the classes from the school campus, they will come. Otherwise, rest of them will enjoy the same live classes from their home. So let's start. As I have told you earlier also that this part is the most peculiar part. You have to understand everything perfectly. That is why continuously I am working from the beginning of the part. We have learned if else. This was the syntax through which we have learned if else. According to the syntax, we will provide some condition with if statement. If the condition is true, then the statement written just below the if statement will be executed. Otherwise, the statement written just below the else statement will be executed. We can provide condition only with a if. We can't provide condition with else. According to the condition, answer will be arise, either it will be yes or no. If it was yes, statement within the if block would be executed. If it is no, then the statement written inside the else block would be executed. This is all about your if and else. We have seen the example also in which we have given a value to a variable. Let the name of the variable is x, and then we have compared it with a value 5. If it is greater than 5, we have given the message that the number is greater than 5. Otherwise, the message was flashing that the number is less than or equals to 5. So using the if else statement, we can deviate our programming in two ways. Either it will be in left direction or it will be in right direction. Now, one important part is that if can be used without else, but else cannot be used without if. We can use only if without else. We have checked it also during the lab session, and vice versa is not possible. That means we can't use else without if, because condition can be written only with if. We can't write condition with else. Now we are moving one step ahead, and this is the nesting of if and else. Note down the syntax. What is the meaning of the syntax? Syntax meaning how to write a code. In the syntax you can see here, if you can see here, this is the one of the if and else. If then condition is true, statement will be executed. Else, otherwise this statement will be executed. This is a part of if and else. But if and else lying inside another if, even we can have more extended format. That means we can have multiple if and else even inside else also. So if one if is lying inside another if, one else is lying inside another else, this technique is known as nesting of if else. We will see the example lively through the practical session. I hope that you must have noted down. If not, I am just giving you 1 minute. Note it down. Then we are jumping to the Python interface. So let's get back to the exact programming environment of Python. Hope it would be visible for you. We have seen this program. We have checked the result also, in which we have asked two numbers from the user, and based on the number we have tried to execute one condition that if x is greater than y, then the x will be flashed as the greatest number, otherwise y will flash as the greatest number. That means we have tried to find the greatest among two numbers. We have tried to find the greatest among two numbers, and we got the correct result. Just for your convenience, I am going to re-execute it, run it. I'm providing let the number is 654, second number is 456, and the output is 654 is the greatest. So it is executing perfectly. Now, my next question is, write a program in Python to ask three numbers from the user. Write a program in Python to ask three numbers from the user and find the greatest among them. This is the question that we are going to solve it. So it is just like a simple match, a simple game that you might have played with your friends. You can think like that. We are having three teams: team A, team B, and team C. So you need to find who is the winner. The rule for for the game is that once a team will be defeated, it will be move out from the match. The rule is simply a simple one, that first we can have match only between two teams. The team which will defeat, it will be thrown out of the match, out of the tournament. So we can have any type of combination. For example, I am just showing you one combination. If I am having three team A, B, and C, first I would like to create the match between A and B. In this match, we are having only two consequences. Either A will win, or B will win. We are not considering the tie-up. We have to consider only the winners. So either A will win or B will win. If A wins, if the team A wins, that means B has been defeated, A wins. So the next match will be conducted between A and C. First match was conducted between A and B. If A wins, then the next match will be conducted between A and C. In this last match, either A will be the final winner or C will be the final winner. This is the one of the consequences. Second part, what if in the first match A loses the match? That means B is the winner. If B is the winner, then the next match will be conducted between B and C, and this would be the last match. Again, according to this match, either B would be the final winner or C would be the final winner. So before starting the match, we can't decide which one is the final winner. For that, we have to involve them one by one in the tournament, in the match. We can have match only between two players only, two teams only. We can't have match between three teams. So this is one of the logic that we are going to implement when we are going to find the greatest among three numbers. That means first we will compare with any two number. If A is greater than B, then compare it with C. Otherwise, B is greater, then compare B with C. And finally, we will check which one is greater, either B or C or A. So I'm just going to show you the code. You are requested to note it down. So first I am checking here. First we have taken the values from the user X and Y. Again we need one more value, let it be Z. Z equals to int input, enter third number. So third number will be given by the user. Now we got all the three numbers. According to our concept, we can have match only between two. At once we can have a match only between two teams. So I am comparing whether X is greater than Y. Yes, X is greater than Y. So if X is greater than Y, I am just deleting everything for your convenience. So first match is whether X is greater than Y. If yes, then we will jump inside the if block. If yes, then X is the winner. So next match between X and Z. Now I am asking from the interpreter, check out whether X is greater than Z. If yes, consider the concept of if yes. I don't know whether it is yes or not, but we have to consider all the consequences, all the way of flow chart, all the way where our program can execute. So first we have taken yes, X is greater than Y. Then we are checking whether the value of X is greater than Z. Now we are checking yes, X is also greater than Z. So X is greater than Y as well as X is greater than Z. We can say that directly we get the final conclusion that X is the greatest number. So that we can assume due to just these two conditions. So first we have checked whether x is greater than y. Yes, x is greater than y. Then whether x is greater than z. Yes, x is greater than z. Then we are at the position that we can say that yes, x is the greatest number. Now we are coming back. One step, one by one we are coming back. So first thing is else. Here else is created for the latest if. We are having two if, the outer one and the inner one. But first we need to create the else for the latest one. So the latest one is the inner one, that is if x is greater than z. If I am coming to else, that means for me x is greater than y, but x is not greater than z. Coming back, I'm just repeating it. X is greater than y, but x is not greater than z. So x was the winner with y, but x loses the match with z. So we can say that z is the final winner. We can say that z is the final winner. So this else we are putting here when we have considered x is the winner of the first match, but in the second match x loses with z. Now coming back, what if at the beginning of the match x loses at the beginning of the tournament x loses the match with y? At first we have considered that x is the winner, but now I am telling you x is not the winner, y is winner. Which one is the winner? Y is the winner. That means x loses the match. So we are coming to else part of the first one. Else, if y is the winner, then next we will compare y with z. We will check if y is also greater than z. Next match was in between y and z. First match was between x and y. If x was the greatest one or x was the winner, then x was having match with z. Otherwise, y is having match with z. So we can say that if y is also greater than z, then we can say that print y is greatest. Y is the greatest number. And the last otherwise means x is not greater than y, so y is greatest. Next, y is having match with z, but if I am writing here else, that means y is not greater than z. Y was greater than x, but y is not greater than z. So which one is the greatest one? Now the greatest will be the final winner. So if a match is in between y and z, if yes, then y is the winner. Then if no, then the winner will be z. In between two teams, if the teams are x and z, we have seen that either x will be the winner or z will be the winner. Same way if we are having two teams in between y and z, we can have either y as the winner or z as the winner. So this way we can find the greatest among three numbers. Krishna, Bhavesh, both of you have given the correct part, but way of typing, the logic is a little bit different, but you will get the correct answer. Let's execute it. Run the module, for which first I will save it. It has been saved. Now we are going to provide few values. First value is 15, second value is 18, and the last value is 20. First value will be given to x, second value will be given to y, and the third value will be given to z. Now let's check whether we are going to get the correct answer or not. Correct? 20 is the greatest number. So in the first execution, I have tried to give the greatest number, that is z. Okay, one by one we will give each and every variable, each and every number, one of the greatest one in between the greatest number. So first greatest number was the third number. Now I will provide the greatest number, that would be the first one. We have to check each and every, we have to test it whether it is working for each and every correct input or not. So I'm just going to run it one more time. Now for first number I am providing 20, second number 18, and the third number is 15. Again we are getting the correct answer. 20 is the greatest number. So it is working for x also. Now we will check for y also. Again I am going to execute it. Now I will provide 18, and y is the greatest, and according to me y is the greatest, and the next is 50. So you can see here for each and every input we are getting the correct answer. So you are requested to note it down. This is the example of nesting of if and else. There are varieties of answer that can be generated only from this question. Two I got from one. Yeah. Right now I have got two different varieties. One from Krishna, second from Bhavesh, and this is one of the third part. If you have noted down, we can jump to the next section. Now next is our elif statement. For that, I am just providing you a direct example through which you can utilize your elif statement. So now we are going to generate one question. Write a program in Python to ask the salary of the user and find the income tax. based on the given tax slab. So since you are all belongs to commerce platform, so right now we will try to find the income tax of a user based on a slab. First, I will show you the slab. According to the slab, if the salary, if first will be your salary and second will be your tax. Note it down along with me. If the salary is less than 2,50,000, then the tax which will be generated is 0%. Next, if the salary is in between 2,50,001 rupees to 5 lakh, then the tax will be calculated as 10% of the salary. And if it is more than 5 lakh, then the tax will be calculated as 20% of the salary. So first we will ask the salary from the user, and based on the salary we will check that the salary of the user lies in which slab, whether it is having 0%, whether it the person is eligible for 0% tax or 10% tax or 20% tax. So we will check it through our condition. So let's start. First we need to find a we need to ask the salary from the user. So we will write that the variable is sal, in which I would like to, we can have float also, float float. Salary can be in decimal also. Input enter your salary. So user will provide the salary. Now salary has been given by the user. Just we need to find out in which slab the salary is belonging, and based on that we will do our calculation. Let's see how. If just as the the question is asking from you, in the same way just you need to write the code in programming paradigm. That means what we need to check, if whether the salary is less than 2,50,000, then calculate tax is equals to 0. This is the statement that we are using in English, and now I am to convert this in Python programming language. What I have told you, whether the salary of the user is less than 2,50,000, if it is, please make the tax equals to 0. So it will be written as, if salary is less than, since I am including 2,50,000 also, so I will use equal to also. If the salary is less than equals to 2,50,000, if the salary is less than equals to 2,50,000, then make the tax equals to 0. This is what I have informed you through the English statement. whether the salary is less than equals to 2,50,000, then please make the tax 0%. Otherwise, how to write otherwise? Else, follow. Otherwise, if the salary is greater than 2,50,000 but less than 5 lakh, if the salary is greater than 2,50,000 and at the same time the salary is less than equals to 5 lakh, then please calculate tax, which is equals to, it will be now calculate the tax as 10% of the salary. So 10% of the salary can be calculated like 10 divided by 100 multiplied with the salary. So this will be your tax. So what I have told you from the beginning, whether the salary is less than 2 lakh, less than equals to 2,50,000, please make the tax equals to 0. Otherwise, if the tax is greater than 2,50,000 and if the salary is greater than 2,50,000 and at the same time salary is less than 5 lakh also, less than equals to 5 lakh also, then please make the tax as 10% of the salary. Otherwise, according to the last condition, otherwise we can't give condition with else. So after else I am again using if. Otherwise, if salary is don't write the answer right now, beta. Let me complete, then write down the answer. If the salary is greater than 5 lakh, if the salary is greater than 5 lakh, then the tax will be calculated as tax is equals to 20%. 20 divided by 100 multiplied by the salary, 20% of the salary. So this is how we can calculate the salary, we can calculate the tax. Now, tax has been calculated based on the salary given by the user. If it has been calculated, my if else work has been completed. At the last, before the ending the program, just I am going to print the value of tax. So the value of tax is equals to, tax has been calculated in the variable, the name of the variable is tax. So let's save it. Don't write anything right now, just wait for a few moments. Tax IT. So I have saved it. Now let me execute it. We have to check whether error is coming or not, or whether we are going to get the. So error has not been arised. So I am giving the first salary which is less than 2,50,000. So it will be 1,50,000. Let's check the tax. So we are getting the correct tax, that is 0. One more time. Next I will test. We have, whenever we are going to create any program, we have to test it for each and every value. Next I am going to check for the next range between 2,50,000 and 5 lakh. So the next salary is 3 lakh. So you can see here 10% of 3 lakh, which is 30,000. It has been calculated. Now, the last one, again, I will execute the code. Salary, now I will provide more than 5 lakh. Let it be 6 lakh. So you can see here correctly we are getting the tax and now it is 20%. So this way we can create the program using if else else if else else. But for a beginner, since you all are a beginner, it is a little bit clumsy, a little bit complicated. Why? First write if, then else. Again if inside the else, then again if inside the else. So you have to maintain the ladder. This ladder must be maintained. That means if I am telling you that this if is coming at this position, then the next if must be coming after the proper indentation. First if is coming at the beginning of the indentation. This you have to follow it. So just for making you comfortable, just for your convenience, Python is providing you the facility of elif. Using elif also, you can write the entire program easily. How? All the else and if will be combined and it will be known as elif. Let's see how. Else and if becomes elif. With elif we can provide condition, but with else we can't provide condition. So all the else after that, if we are having if, directly we can write elif. Sorry, colon will be at the end. So as you can see here, I have removed all the just for your readability, I am providing few spaces. First if, one condition, elif, the second condition, and elif, the last condition. Let's check whether it is working or not. First save it, execute it. So I am not getting any error. Same way, first value is 1,50,000, tax is 0. One more time. The next value I am providing will be 3 lakh, 10%. And the last value we are going to provide will be 6 lakh. We must get 20%. So it is perfectly working. So whenever you need to write else plus if, directly write elif. So now you can note down the code fastly. So it makes your program easier than the previous one. What error you are getting, beta? Why I have written float? We can write int also, beta, but we are considering that the salary can be given in float also. Like, just for 1 minute, I am executing it fastly. What if I am giving you 3 lakh 50 paise? Accordingly, your tax can be calculated. This is why I have used float. It is not necessary mandatory that you have to use float here. You can use int also. I hope that you must have noted down. Can I close the sharing? Krishna, you can't use directly two condition in the second elif. If you are writing a is less than 2,50,000 and greater, you have to use and operator here. And greater than, and a is greater than 5 lakh. Second statement is wrong. Second, that is the elif is wrong. You have to write elif a is less than 2,50,000 and AE is greater than equals to 5 lakh. You can't merge it. So you have to write in the same sequence. We can't merge both the conditions.